Hello, this is Jam Master Daniel 96, and in today's video, I'll be reviewing the novelization for A New Hope, which is called Star Wars: The Adventures of Luke Skywalker. And the book, pretty much with the author thing, it says it's written by George Lucas, but it's ghost written by Alan Dean Foster. And let's begin. Well, the New Hope novelization is pretty much the same as the movie, and there are bits where the dialogue is different from the movies. There are, lines that are different. Like, I know for one example, like where the dialogue is different, because in kind of where, Luke is training on the Falcon with Obi-Wan, when he has the training ball and stuff, as in the movie, Obi-Wan says to Luke, "You taken your first steps into a larger world," as he says in the movie, but in this book, Obi-Wan says, "You've taken your first steps into a larger universe." So that's, example of the dialogue being different from the movie. We see a scene added, where we see Luke, Biggs, and Cammy on Tatooine, so we kind of get to see a little glimpse of Luke's life on Tatooine, in his days there. And then the prologue gets pretty interesting with this, because they do mention, have a reference to the prequels, which makes this book pretty interesting. Like, we even hear in the prologue, this is where we first hear Palpatine's name. Like, this is the first mention of Palpatine, but they don't mention him as Emperor Palpatine, because that comes later on. But it is kind of interesting with that, like even when you grew up when the movie came out, and then when you wanted to read the novelization, you kind of got to learn these things, which I thought was pretty interesting for people who read this, read the novelization when the movie came out back in 1977. And then also another prequel character's name we hear is Bail Organa, which I thought was what even made it even more interesting, where they have the prequel mentions here. And then also we hear the word Sith in this book, because in the original trilogy you don't hear the name Sith at all in any of the 3 original trilogy movies, but you actually do hear the word Sith, and they do describe in the book that Darth Vader is a Dark Lord of the Sith, which definitely makes it interesting, back then. Like, as I said, if you wanted to know more about it, you would read the novelization and you would find the things, so you would know that Darth Vader was a Sith, because, in the OT, they don't mention it in the movies. I mean, the word Sith in the movies comes more, in the prequels, and then, it was even established in expanded universe stories and all that. And definitely that's why I did enjoy reading this book, and I did say my biggest takeaway was, hearing the name Palpatine, Bail Organa, and the word Sith, that's definitely my big highlight of the book. And a fun fact, that this book came out in late 1976, as where the movie A New Hope, back then it was just called Star Wars, which it came out in May of 77, which, I mean, no, Star Wars is not based off a book. The movies always come first. And, the novelization for A New Hope came in late 76, about 5 months before, about 5 or 6 months before the movie came out, which is pretty interesting. So, George Lucas wanted to spread awareness of his upcoming movie around that time. And they, as I said with the author bit, they credit George Lucas, but the actual author is Alan Dean Foster, who wrote Splinter of the Mind's Eye, The Approaching Storm, and The Force Awakens novelization. And that's pretty much all I gotta say with this video. And don't forget to like this video, subscribe to the channel, Comment what you think down below, and I'll catch you guys next time with another video. Bye.